Welcome to the Anxiety Slayer series. Our mission is to assist you with creating more peace and tranquility in your life through anxiety release exercises and supportive tools created to slay your anxiety. Today's Anxiety Slayer podcast is brought to you by How to Calm Your Fragile Mind. In this course, we will guide you through the thoughts, wisdom teachings, and exercises that will show you how to develop a state of detached awareness where you can learn to witness your thoughts coming and going without causing you emotional pain. To celebrate Anxiety Slayer's 7th anniversary, we're offering How to Calm Your Fragile Mind for $30 US, regularly priced at $45. Learn more at anxietyslayer.com/support. Welcome back to Anxiety Slayer. I'm Shan Vanderleek here with my wonderful friend. We come together weekly on Skype to share Anxiety Slayer sessions with you and answer listener questions from our inbox and Facebook page. And together we share a powerful collection of techniques to reduce anxiety. This week we received the question, can you speak to why dark evenings make my anxiety worse? When I read that, I thought, that's true, isn't it? It really can kick things up. So I'm glad we're talking about that today. Ananga, welcome.
Hi, Shan.
Who'da knew that dark evenings could amplify anxiety?
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot over the last couple of weeks, a lot of people telling me all of a sudden my anxiety is so much worse and I can't understand why. So I think this is a really important thing to talk about because this seasonal change over from summer to autumn, where all of a sudden the evenings really do start to get darker and we find ourselves with a lot less sunlight, a lot less daylight, it can have a really big impact on anxiety. And for me, just knowing that helps, knowing that we might not necessarily be having a big relapse, we might not necessarily have dropped the ball and be doing something wrong, but we are dealing with a seasonal transition, which is the toughest one for anxiety sufferers.
And I suspect that one of the best things that you can do this time of year is make the most of what light we do have.
Absolutely, yeah. Really important to get out, walk if you can, if the weather's dry enough, or even if you just get an umbrella and embrace the wet, get out in the daylight as much as you can, or even drive around and look at the sky or park up somewhere. We have some nice places near here that I like to go to, places that are up high where you can park the car and see a lot of sky. I like to see a lot of sky. If I'm feeling oppressed by the weather or seasonal changes, the more sky I can see, the happier I am. So try and find places where you can see as much sky and as much natural light as you can. Just get outside as much as you can and make the most of what is there.
I also think that along with that, the evenings, if you can make your evenings lighter, it makes sense. I know that one of my favorite things in the home that I live in is our fireplace. And as you know, Ananga, I have candles burning almost all the time, as day and night. But those two things, having the fireplace and having some additional candle light, really makes a difference.
Yeah, I think that it's a nice meditation to think that the firelight and the candlelight, they're the same energy as the sunlight. So I like to think of candles as bringing little pieces of sunshine into your home. That helps me have a better attitude on darker evenings. Unfortunately, we don't have an open fireplace here. I have a friend who does, and when I visit her home, I'm really mindful that it's very good for your spirits to just sit next to the open fire and meditate on the flames, just see that radiant natural light that we miss so much in the winter. So that's definitely an advantage if you have a fire to light it early in the evening and almost make it a ritual, a meditative practice where you can sit and watch the flames and breathe. And if you don't have a fire, then use candles. One crazy thing I did here a couple of years ago, which I just wanted to experiment, and it surprisingly worked. And I bought a DVD called Light the Box, and it's video footage of fireplaces, different hearths and flames. And I'm aware that we're very much triggered by our sensory input. It has an effect on us. So I just wanted to try this, of putting this fireplace on the screen in the evenings, and it did make a difference. It made some kind of connection.
Right.
Because we have had the experience of a real fire. And then I tried it with video scenes of snowy weather, and it made me feel colder. So I just wanted to, I'm all about using the senses in a way to help us as much as we can. So I did try that. I haven't done it for a couple of years, but one year we had that on a lot and we found it quite toasty in the evenings. It had the crackling noises of a fire. People were laughing at me and then saying, actually, it's surprisingly cozy. So that's a funny one.
After you make the choice and then put it up, I think after a bit you forget, because you get used to hearing the crackling sounds and seeing that visual, and it starts to become more real, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it just sets up a trigger of a prior comfortable experience with something. Also, I experimented with changing the lighting in our home. I'm sitting talking to you now in my office. I have a full spectrum light bulb, which I can honestly say I haven't noticed all spring and all summer. Sometimes it's on in the evening, but there's been enough daylight for it not to register with me. And just this week now I have it on over my head and I'm appreciating it because the light's gone sufficiently overcast and dim outside and the evenings are drawing in, and all of a sudden that little bulb is making a difference. I think it helps me concentrate, it helps my energy levels, and it just gives a really bright, good light that you don't get so much at this time of year. So that was a very quick and easy thing, just replacing one bulb. Another thing we've done is to use a wake-up light in the bedroom. My daughter really doesn't like the dark evenings and dark mornings at all. So for her, we bought something called a wake-up light where you can set an alarm and it just gradually lights up your bedroom in the morning with this beautiful golden light, and she really likes that. She said that really helps in the mornings. So different things to try.
Yes, absolutely. The other thing that I wanted to share is to remind our listeners that we did create a gorgeous guided candle gazing meditation that can be found at Amazon or iTunes that will really help with using light to calm anxiety. It's just a great way to bring you back to the center and the warmth of light.
It is, yeah. Well, the more we can find things to embrace on the darker evenings that we do like, and the less that we focus on thinking, oh, it's getting dark and it's making me feel bad, the better we can feel. So all of these things really help. The candles, the whatever way you can bring brightness into your home, changing up the colors in your home to reflect the changing season outside. Somebody bought me last week a beautiful autumn or fall colored scarf, really orangey, bright greens. I love it so much. And immediately I was thinking, oh, this is such a good color for this time of year. Because we tend to get out dark, knitwear and clothes and hats. And it was just such a really fantastic, cheering collection of colors. So really important. Ayurveda and many other healing traditions talk a lot about color therapy. And it's important at this time of year not to have dark colors around you. That just increases the dark. So to wear brighter colors, to use throws or bed covers in your sleeping place that are warm, oranges, yellows, golds, brighter greens, whatever feels uplifting to you, to invite those into your sleeping place. And my daughter and I last year added some string lights. We call them fairy lights in the UK, these little lights on a string. We found some really nice golden coloured ones that we've strung up around the bedroom window, and they come on in the early evening. And we found as we passed the bedroom by, it wasn't a dark room anymore. They look very golden. As the light goes down, their light comes up really warm.
I have some fairy lights in my room as well, and always adjust the colors, whether it's with pillows or throws. Somewhere inside of me, I knew that I needed to brighten things up. The other thing I absolutely enjoy doing this time of year, and I love gorgeous scents and essences any time of year, but this time of year, I have some cinnamon and orange peel and nutmeg or different spices that I will let simmer on the stove, and the whole house smells just amazing. And there's something about that comforting, gorgeous scent that will warm and lift your spirit.
Yeah, really nice addition. Again, it's all about using your senses to take in nourishing and uplifting scents and colors and sounds and lights, and just making things feel nicer. I think most of our listeners will have heard of chai tea. That's now become very popular. It's an Indian way of adding spices to your tea. That can be really nice in the morning time to add cloves, cinnamon. Sometimes I add some ginger or black pepper to my morning tea. If you're avoiding caffeine, you can do that with red bush tea. And another recipe I found a couple of years ago, which I really like, is great for kids too, is to make grape chai. So you take really nice quality red or purple grape juice and add in cinnamon, cloves, other warming spices like that, and simmer it up on the stove, which again smells delicious and is really warming and uplifting to the body. And of course, apple juice is also very good for that.
So many great tips and ideas to help this time of year be not quite so crazy making when it gets so dark and feels like everything's closing in on you. Really appreciate that we could talk about that. And we'll have even more information on the website, additional suggestions that we hope that you find supportive. Anxiety Slayer has been offering a free podcast for more than 6 years. Now we want to help you go deeper by providing step-by-step support on getting the best experience from our favorite tools and techniques for overcoming anxiety. Are you ready to take action against your anxiety? Enroll in the Anxiety Slayer Academy now, and you can get started today. Visit anxietyslayer.com/support.